As the view opens, showing the words previously, as the words there is no previously appear underneath it. As the view then goes dark. As the view opens, showing the outside of Riptide's house in the GTA verse. As the view now shows him frantically trying to call Jax. Come on, Jax, pick up. Why won't he pick up? It's like, come on, pick up, Jax. Jax, hello? Jax. Voicemail again. Are you okay, father? No, I'm not. Can't get Jax on the phone. Steffi's, gone missing. As Riptide turns to John and sees him holding a picture Eddie drew of the Formatronics. As Riptide thinks to himself, how does he know about them? But shakes it off. As he then hears a knock at the door and says, I'll have to try and call him later. As he goes to the door and finds Wolfina. Wolfina, what are you doing here? As Wolfina says, I had to tell you something. But first, as she hands him something, Riptide sees the pill bottle that he uses to help him fall asleep easier. I can assume these are yours. As Riptide says, what happened? Breaking at the restaurant. Somebody, left the loading dock unlocked. We also found a truck nearby. Probably was supposed to be an escape vehicle. As Riptide says, probably? As Wolfina continues. Yep. The place had been broken into, though. We don't know who or why. It's an old pizzeria. I don't know who would want to break into an old, rundown place like that. As Riptide says, well, you can be held accountable for this, right, Riptide? That pill bottle is all the evidence we needed. As Riptide puts it in his pocket and says, well, listen, okay? I just had so much stress, and it's like, Zofina says, please. You can be held accountable for this, okay? I'm not trying to see you go to jail, okay? So please, just try to not get yourself either killed or arrested. Got it? You're lucky. You're lucky I'm not reporting this. Got it? As Riptide says, got it. As Wolfina then turns and says, oh, by the way, who are you trying to call? As Riptide says, oh, the babysitter I have, Jax. He won't pick up for some reason. I don't know why. As Wolfina says, well, that's weird. As Riptide says, I know, right? I just don't know why or he isn't picking up. Wait. As he looks at the clear bag on her belt, that's Jax's watch in that bag. As Wolfina looks at it and says, hold on, what? As Riptide says, yeah, that's Jax's favorite watch. He never takes it off of him. As Wolfina says, oh, well, it's found at the crime scene, as Riptide says, wait a minute. Did Jax... As Wolfina looks nervous and she says, he got arrested. As Riptide says, huh? As Wolfina says, he got arrested and he's in jail right now, serving his time. As Riptide says, oh, okay, I was concerned for a second. I don't know, I didn't guess. Bogdan and Reggie must have gone to him. Must have forced him to go along and got arrested for it. Feel bad for the guy, really. Well, thanks for showing up, Wolfina. Glad you let me know. As Wolfina says, yeah, he got arrested. So, oh, by the way, is that your brother or something behind you? As Riptide says, oh no, that's my son, John. Hello, female wolf. As John looks at her while moving while leaning his head on his left hand before moving it to the right hand. As Wolfina waves and says, as Riptide then replies, yeah, he's a little not normal. Wolfina waves and says, well, later, as Riptide says later, as she walks off, getting into her car. As she then drives off. As Riptide says, oh, Jax, what have you gotten yourself into? As the view now shows him pulling up to the restaurant just before his shift starts. As he gets out and they enter the restaurant, as Riptide says, whoa. As he looks at the damage all around, as Riptide says, that's a lot of damage. As Riptide helps John across all the debris, as he turns to the animatronics who just stand there. As they get to the office, Riptide says, stay here while I get the whole restaurant cleaned up. I can't believe I have to do this. Okay, Dad, I will stay here like a good boy. As he glitches for a second. Yeah, stay here. As Riptide checks time, he says 12:30. As he quickly runs and begins cleaning everything up. As he begins sweeping up debris, turning tables back over, and even dusting off some old shelvings. Okay, everything is how it should be. As he looks around, okay, now time for me to relax. As he sits in a chair and pulls out the pill bottle. I thought the wolf lady said to not do that. The Riptide says, well, what she doesn't know won't kill her. As he takes the pill and falls asleep. Oh, didn't know that logic applied to this. New information has been gathered. As John then leaves the office, I guess I'll just go to the bathroom. As he goes to the bathroom and doesn't notice the time tick to 1 a.m. As the view now shows Riptide in his dreamscape, where he chases after the car, trips, and watches it drive away. As he turns and sees those shadowy figures again, Riptide then says, okay, I'm sorry for last time, but can you please tell me who took my son? I don't know who and I don't know why or how, but please just tell me who did it, okay? Please. As the tallest shadowy figure stands up and looks up at him from while they dig in the dirt. It's as if they're drawing something out. Give us something in return, one of them says. As another says, give us something in return, and we'll tell you everything. We'll help you find out who did it. As Riptide says, I'll give you anything. Just please help me find my other son, rightfully iPadman. Is that a deal? The oldest one says. As Riptide says, yes. As Riptide then stops talking, as the oldest one walks over and holds out his hand. Shake on it. As Riptide looks at his hand, seeing it glitching. As Riptide looks at his own hand, and they shake on it. As a massive boom of light appears, and Riptide, after shaking his head, looks and sees nobody, but looks in the dirt and sees a picture drawn out in the sand of a tall man holding the hands of 4 children. While he seemingly looks back and realizes, why does it look like one of the animatronics? Same build, but like, what? As Riptide hears something and wakes up, falling out of his chair again. As Riptide says, John? As he looks around and doesn't see him, as he runs out of the office frantically. As he gets out and sees John with the other animatronics. As Riptide, panicking, grabs a chair and charges at him. As Original DJ stands up and prepares to fight him, but John says, wait, they don't do anything. They are friendly, not enemy. As Riptide says, what? As Original DJ takes a chair carefully and smashes it into pieces. As he then goes and sits down next to John. They are my friends. As Riptide says, the picture? Yep. How did you... No. As Riptide says, they're... Huh? I don't get this. What? Come in. Sit down. As Riptide sits down, it would appear you have acquaintances with them. As Clone DJ looks at him, as if he shows his POV, as he glitches in the words, "New host, give me new host, give me your body, and give great power, great power. Please let me take your body. New host, new host." As he gets a simple yes or no, and he goes for yes. As he glitches in the words, "new host takeover" appear, showing a percentage as it begins to go up gradually. As Riptide says, "So, how's it been?" It would appear Calamity Bond has quite the anger and hatred towards you. As Riptide says, "Yeah." The flashback shows Riptide electrocuting her. "Yeah." As Riptide then stands up and says, "This is awkward." As Riptide hears something, he sees Wolfina walking over. As Wolfina says, "So, you finally met them, eh?" Riptide says, "You knew about them?" As Wolfina says, "No. I'm just a police officer." As Riptide says, "Well, I mean, you're our police officer." As Wolfina says, "Of course I knew about him, dude. I'm surprised it took you this long to notice." As Riptide says, um, I don't know what to say. It's like, as Wolfina says, "It's fine. Plus, we still have some time to kill. And it's not like they're trying to murder you or anything." As Calamity Bond gives Riptide the death stare. "Yeah, not trying to murder me." "Yeah, sure." As what if we build a fort using all of the items we have at our disposal to do it? As Riptide says, "That sounds like a good idea." As Ophelia says, "Let's do it." As the animatronics begin to build a sort of fort, as if he shows CMD trying to do a backflip, but immediately falls over. As John says, "Are you okay, buddy?" As he gives a thumbs up and it continues. As the view now shows them sitting in their makeshift fort. As Wolfina says, "Hey, I think it's gonna rain soon. You might need a little roof, right?" "Good idea, doggy." As Wolfina says, "I'm a wolf, not a dog." "Same thing." As Wolfina says, "Come on, I can get us some. I know where some sheets are." As Riptide follows her, as they walk through a hallway past the kitchen, where Riptide notices a strange red stain on the floor of the kitchen. As they then walk by a supply closet, where Riptide notices a strange bloody handprint on it. As he looks uneasy. "That's weird." As they get to the back, as Wolfina has found it, as she pulls out a bunch of sheets. As she hands it to him, and Riptide says, "What the heck is that?" Pointing at a strange looking suit. "Oh, those are spring locks." As she picks up a random piece of debris and throws it into it, as a strange lock thing slams shut, breaking it in half. As Riptide says, "Whoa." Wolfina says, "Yep. Be careful with those." As Riptide says, "So, the animatronics, they're alive?" As Wolfina says, "Does a horse have four hooves?" As Riptide says, "But how?" As Wolfina says, "Well, remember when I told you about those four children that were murdered?" As Riptide says, "Yeah, you're telling me they're..." As Wolfina covers his mouth. "Yes, they're children possessed the animatronics. I don't know how or why, but they possess them." It says, "And also, how do you know all about this? You're just a cop. How do you know the animatronics and like all of this stuff?" And it's like, what are you not telling me? As Elfina says, just please don't look into it, man. There are some things that are meant to be buried for reasons, okay? So please, as they walk out, as they see the animatronics playing music, as Elfina says, as John reaches out to one of them and gets electrocuted, sending him flying back. Yahoo! As he slams into a wall. As Riptide runs over and says, John. As John lays there, I can see colors. I can taste colors. Magenta. As he passes out. As Elfina says, I think you should go. As Riptide says, my shift isn't over. As Elfina says, I won't tell anyone. I think you guys need to go. As Elfina looks at the animatronics. As they look back at her. As Riptide and John leave. Elfina looks back at the animatronics before also leaving. As the view now transitions. As Riptide lays in bed, staring up at the ceiling. As he says, none of this is making sense. How does Wolfina know about all this? Why is all this happening? As Riptide then lays down and falls asleep. As the view now goes dark. As the view shows Riptide waking up. As Riptide realizes, I'm gonna so regret this, but I need someone to watch John, and as he dials a number and says, yes, I need you to come here. As the view now shows John as he wakes up. Hello, Dad. As Riptide says, hey, son, there's something I need to tell you. As John walks on, sees Sparrow sitting on the couch. What the bleep? As Riptide says, okay, listen me out. Okay, listen to me, okay? Just listen. As John backs up and stumbles into the cabinet as the divorce papers fall out. As Riptide says, oh, narrator. You're getting the divorce? The divorce question mark. Riptide says, not what you think, okay? As John just backs up and enters his room and closes the door. As Wolfina says, as Sparrow says, he has your reaction time, doesn't he? As Riptide says, just watch him, okay? I'm not expecting you to enjoy it. Oh, and Riptide. As Riptide turns back to Sparrow. We'll need to have a talk later, got it? Riptide rolls his eyes and leaves. As Sparrow goes back to laying on the couch and says, feels good to do me. As the view pans over to show a figure standing in the hallway as the lightning strikes. As the view shows Riptide pulling up to the restaurant. As he gets out. As he enters. As he walks past the animatronics, not saying anything. As he gets to the office and closes the door. Sitting down, he notices something weird. As he notices strange markings on the vents. As if someone tried to both hold it down. As he notices scratch marks on the inner part of it. As he sits in the chair and takes his pills and falls asleep. Forgetting all about the How to Survive book. But not noticing as Clone DJ awakens. As the view shows him in his dream, as Riptide wakes up, Riptide looks around and says, okay, now tell me, What do you want from me? I saw what happened earlier. What do you want? I feel like I know who took my son, but I also don't know. Don't tell me. What do you want? As he turns and jumps, seeing the four shadows. It says, okay, you showed me something, the markings in the dirt. What does that mean? I don't understand it. He's the person who took your son. That was your answer. That was our deal complete. Now, give us what we want. As Riptide says, what do you want? Or do you explain what that marking meant? I don't know. As the view shows the hallway, as Clone DJ begins walking towards the door. As Riptide says, just please tell me. Tell me who took him and what you guys want. We want John. As Riptide says, what? As the view shows Clone DJ as he pries open the door, lifting it up. We want John. Simple as that. John is who we want. As Riptide says, what? Huh? I don't. As the view shows Clone DJ getting closer to the sleeping Riptide. Oh, and by the way, those pills really will help in this negotiation. As Riptide says, I can't give you John. He's my son. You said anything, right? As he reveals the contract when we shook hands, that was your signing of our deal. Riptide Thomas. As Clone DJ walks even closer, as he reveals his claws again. So, give us John, or we'll just have to take him. As Riptide says, what? As all the figures suddenly all run away. As the tall kid still stands there. I guess we'll have to do this the hard way. He he he. As Riptide roars, what? As someone slashes his leg. As Riptide falls to the ground, and then more things begin slashing him. As Riptide begins getting slashed repeatedly and repeatedly. As he passes out. Take him to a chair. As the view now shows Riptide waking up. My head. Why does this happen? Huh? As he looks around, he's stuck to a chair. What the heck? As he sees Clone DJ standing in the corner. It would appear Vasily has finally woken up. Riptide says, what? I'm so sorry I have to do this. Just kidding. As he pulls a lever, as the contraption with buzzsaws activates, causing Riptide to say, what the heck are you guys trying to do? We're just completing our deal, friend. No hard feelings. Oh, wait. Just kidding. As Riptide begins to squirm, as he manages to break one arm loose, he, let us in, 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 let us in. As Riptide gets his other leg loose, as Riptide gets his other arm loose, as he then struggles to get his last leg loose, let us in, let us in, let us in, let us in. As Riptide gets his last leg loose, and manages to jump out the way of the machine, as a buzzsaw breaks off and hits Clone DJ. Take that, you metal-headed thing. As even runs away. Ouch. Now that genuinely hurted my feelings. Well, better to chase than to assume anyway, as he begins to chase after him. As Riptide remembers the exit, as he even runs for it, as he gets to it and sees something on the floor. Oh, as he picks up a strange-looking thing, Bogdan's cuffling. What? He gets run upon as Clone DJ jumps at Riptide, and the view cuts to darkness. As the words "meanwhile" appear, as the view shows John in his room, as he hears something outside and the sound of a struggle, as someone then knocks on the door. As John walks over and opens it, as he sees original DJ, but more yellowish. As he runs over, it's not original DJ. As someone stops him, well, it is, but it isn't. Look, come on. The others are waiting for you. As they begin to leave, as John turns to see where Sparrow was, but sees nothing. I guess she decided to turn in for the night. As John glitches, as they leave, as the view now shows Riptide waking up on a gurney. Riptide says, "What happened?" As Wolfina says, "Whoa, calm down, man. Listen, I found you. I found you knocked out next to the restaurant. I felt bad for last time, so I thought I'd come and talk to you. Then, like I said, I found you on the side of the restaurant knocked out, so I brought you here. You sustained multiple injuries. Do you know what happened?" And Riptide says, "No, that clone DJ thing ran at me." As Wolfina says, "Dang it. They know." As Riptide says, "They know what?" "They know you're not going to give them John." As Riptide says, "John, where is he?" "They've already gotten him." As Riptide says, "What do we do?" "If you get to the restaurant, you might be able to save him in time. But you need to hurry." As Riptide stands up and says, "Well, what do we need to do?" As she throws him a taser should stun them long enough, as long as it can penetrate their skin. They're made of metal, so it should work pretty well. As she throws him a cattle prong and says that should also work to kind of get them away from you. Long range, right? As Riptide then gets into an SUV, and Wolfina says, "Wait a minute, why don't you go with me? We can take him on together." As Wolfina says, "I can't. My father's there." Riptide says, "Your father?" As she holds up a picture and says, "This look familiar?" As Riptide looks at a picture, show of a man holding a little girl's hand. As he looks closely and sees her holding something, as Riptide realizes that's Rifle's favorite toy. As Wolfina says, "Good luck, Riptide. I'll explain more later, okay? Good luck." As Riptide drives off towards the DJ's Pizza. As the view now transitions to show John and original DJ walking to a taxi. As the view shows someone named Gory. Ugh, okay. What customer do we have today? As John gets in, "Okay, little boy, what may I..." As the taxi leans back suddenly, what the heck? As he sees original DJ and jumps. "Oh, what the hell is that thing?" "My friend. Me and my friend here would like to go somewhere." "Please." "I am not going to question this crazy town." As they begin to drive, as Riptide arrives at the restaurant, as we now shows original DJ and John walking in as well. As Riptide gets to the back, as Wolfina talks him through it on the earpiece. "Okay, you're entering through the west vent. It'll lead you to one of the many hallways. It'll take you to backstage. We're going to have to crawl under the stage and pray to the narrator if they don't spot you." As Riptide says, "Good. Wish me luck." As Riptide then crawls through the vents, as he looks around the hallway, as he uses that pulse scanner and briefly looks around, as he crawls on the ground, as CM DJ and Funtime DJ play music. As Riptide crawls under the stage, as CM DJ knows something weird, as he looks at the Funtime DJ, and they both nod, as he punches through the stage and rips Riptide out from the little under part of it, as he even tosses Riptide through a dining room, sending him flying into a table. As Riptide stands up, as John says, "Dad, what is happening?" As Riptide shouts, "Duck!" As original DJ tries to hit John with a chair, but misses. As John, panicking, runs into the arcade area, as Clone DJ arrives, as original DJ nods at him, as Clone DJ then runs towards the ball pit area on all fours. As Clone DJ runs after him, as the view now shows Riptide, what the heck is happening? As the view shows as the words "meanwhile" appear, as the view shows the inside where Kayla and Predator stand. As Predator says, "Okay, get everything we need." As Kayla says, "Got the bags, crowbar, drinks." As Predator says, "Great, now we can break in, have some drinks, and just have a good time all together." As they manage to get the door open, now let's see what the heck's happening in here. As Riptide says, "Who the heck are you guys?" As Kayla says, "What the heck's happening here?" As the power suddenly glitches, as Riptide says, "What the heck?" As the view now pans up to show a tall figure. Well. As all the animatronics back away, it would appear you have all finally made it for the grand finale. As Riptide says, Are you the shadow? Call me Spring Leon, actually." As Kayla and Predator look at each other, as the door suddenly slams shut and lock, as Predator, Kayla, and Riptide all back up. 3 new friends for all of us. As Riptide says, "What the heck?" "Gather around, children. We have some new playmates to introduce." As Kayla says, "Guys, I'm not getting the best stealing from this." As John runs over, as Clone DJ chases after him but trips. Ouch. As he even stands up and joins the other 3. "Now, children, let's give them a warm welcome like the others." Riptide says, "The others? You ever wonder where that James guy, Reginald, Bogdan, Jax? You ever wonder where they went? Or did that officer tell you some nice old lies?" "Oh, children, let's give them a welcome they'll never forget." As Riptide says, "I have no clue who you guys are, but I have the feeling we're going to have to work together to take these guys out." As John ducks behind some boxes, as Riptide says, "Now, let's kill these metal-headed motherfuckers." Okay. As the view now shows Kayla and Predator as they go after their respected animatronics, as Riptide then looks at original DJ, who snarls at him. As Riptide says, "Oh great, don't give me a weapon now." As he even picks up a random hammer. As he swings at original DJ, who blocks it. As Riptide then uses the shock prong and electrocutes him before shooting him twice with a taser. "Get tased, buddy." As Predator throws something to him. As Riptide catches an incendiary grenade, which he pulls the pin on, waits a few seconds, and throws it. As it detonates right in front of OG DJ, causing him to fall back, now on fire. As we now shows Kayla, she pulls a knife out of the left part of her visor. And she says, "Say out of my railgun for me." As she pulls out a railgun and jumps into the air using her wings. As she stabs the barrel of it into Clone DJ's head before doing a backflip and landing on her feet. As Clone DJ then gets up and close personal, slices her hand off. Catching it, he tears off his own and replaces it with it, turning it into a machine gun, as he's able to manipulate the hand in order to make you into whoever he wants, like Kayla would normally be able to do. As the bullets bounce off Kayla's wings as she uses them to block the attack. As if he shows Clone DJ with 90% takeover. As he says, "Welcome to my Matrix." As he even jumps at her as Kayla says, "Matrix?" As she blocks another attack for Railgun. "Oh yes, you'd be so surprised," as he strikes her as she slams into a wall. All of this is quite the interesting configuration. As Kayla then says, "Oh yeah?" As Clone DJ slams into her, as Kayla hits it back and says, "If you want to get spicy then," as she pulls out a railgun and aims it, and "Bite me," as she fires the railgun, the beam of energy shooting out towards him. Now the view shows Predator as he dodges the beam of energy as it got sent his way. As he then slices off from his hand and completely damages and almost destroys Klimbon before punching him in the face. As CMDJ charges at him, but he slices off his faceplate and tears off his entire arm before ducking just an explosion detonates behind him. As the view now shows a massive beam of energy as it sends everyone back. As Riptide, Kayla, and Predator regroup, the view shows Clone DJ who begins to hover in the air. "Oh, it would appear my return has finally happened." As Riptide says, "What? What is?" As massive tentacles begin appearing everywhere. As Clone DJ says, "Oh yes, guess who's back?" As Riptide realizes, "How? Wait, actually, huh? Since when did you become an Eldritch Abomination?" "Oh, I am not your Clone DJ anymore. I am from a alternate world called the Calamity Multiverse. They killed me in that world, but I managed to find a new host in this one. I felt like it fitted my personality, because it's literally me." As Springleon also looks shocked. "Now prepare to die." As a truck suddenly rams through the wall, hitting him and pinning him against another wall. As Riptide says, "Wolfina?" As Wolfina says, "Glad I can make it." What are those tentacles? As the tentacles die, as Clone DJ gets pinned to a wall. As the other tentacles just fall to the ground, going limp. As Predator says, "Not really dealing with this too well." As Kayla says, "Me neither." As they look around, "I told you." As Springleon walks over, as Richard says, "Who are you?" "Oh, me." As he removes his helmet, as it reveals Leo R. Ratbin, as the words Leon F. Tarman appear. "It's me." As Richard says, You're the one who gave me this job in the first place. What are you doing here? What is happening?" "Oh, poor innocent Riptide. You see, I gave you this job thinking my animatronic friends would kill you. My daughter here seemed to have given you a little cheat code, didn't she?" As Wolfina aims a handgun at him, as Wolfina says, "I only did what you said. I kept him in the dark. That's all you said. I had one thing to do, and that's keep him in the dark." "Oh, Wolfina, my ignorant daughter. Well, you fought wrong." As he pins her against the machine, gave you one thing to do. Keep him in the dark and get rid of him if you got too close." As Wolfina says, "That's two things, not one, idiot." As Leon stabs her and throws her to the ground, as she hits Predator, who says, "Ouch." As Riptide says, what? As Riptide begins to hyperventilate as he backs up. Now, as for you guys, oh children, as all the animatronics damaged but still alive all stand up, as Clone DJ still sits there though pinned to the wall by a truck. Let's finally give them their encore. As Riptide realizes John, wait, where's John? As Risha is John, as he grabs a piece of paper and begins writing something. I know the truth now. What? As the lights begin to flicker, as John runs to a massive board and grabs a knife on the ground that Kayla had ripped out of her visor, as he finishes drawing and pins the paper to the wall with the knife, and even returns to Riptide. As Riptide, looking back and forth, pulls a lever, the breaker switch, and all the lights power on, as one specifically shines on the picture. What? What have you done? As all the animatronics look at the picture, and John says, they really know who you are now. A monster. Just like it should. Now, children, let's not get as original DJ punches him as more lights power on, shining onto Leon. As he says, what are you doing? I made all of you. You're all just monsters. I created you. I gave you this. Why would you turn on me? As Riptide says, karma has quite the way of working now, doesn't it? Shut up, you. As Clambon jumps at him, biting into his abdomen, as she tears a piece of his suit off, as Jan looks back and forth frantically, but then goes stiff. Cling. As the spring locks in his suit begin going off simultaneously. No, you can't do this to me. As more spring locks shoot into his body, as he begins to fall to the ground, as he crawls over to his helmet and says, Leon will never die. As he puts it on, just as other animatronics watch, as the lights begin flickering and everything begins to collapse. You can't do this! As he falls to the ground, as the animatronics begin to yell out in shrieks, as everything begins to collapse, as Predator and Kayla pick up Wolfina, and John and Riptide begin to run, as the view now shows Clone DJ, I will not die again, as he breaks free. I will always come back, no matter how those sillies try to kill me. As if it's overheating up here. As he panics, as he jumps out a window and runs into the woods, as the whole front of the building actually caves in. As just as Riptide, John, Wolfina, Kayla, and Predator watch and then drag away Leon F. Tarman, aka Spring Leon. As the view fades to darkness, as the view shows John and Riptide driving in a car, as Riptide says, well, that was crazy. As Kayla says, so, losers, can we get some pizza or something after that? I'm hungry. I don't feel like blood's gonna satisfy my craving right now. As Predator says, ooh, I know a good place down the street. As Riptide says, hey, let's let John pick. Pizza or spaghetti? Both. As Kayla laughs and Predator says, we can't have both, right? As Riptide says, you ever heard of the term spaghetti pizza? As Kayla laughs even harder, as Predator says, clever. As they pull up to an ER, as Riptide says, I'll be right back. As he enters and says, Wolfina Tarman, right this way, sir. As he finds Wolfina, injured, but still alive, as Riptide says, hey, thank you for the help back there. I feel like if I didn't have you, I might not have survived. As Wolfina's winks, acknowledging him. As Riptide gets back in the car and says, "Now, who wants pizza spaghetti?" As everyone yells out and cheers, as the view pans up to the moon, or sun, whatever. As the view now pans down, the show of the restaurant partially caved in. As the view shows Spring Leon reaching out. "Help me," he says. As the view shows the ghost of original DJs, he says, "Get karma, old pal." As he closes the door, leaving Leon there for who knows how long. As the view now shows another restaurant called the Great DJ's Pizza, as it also looks run down. As the viewers the night but same day as the truth of DJ's Pizza. As the view shows original DJ burst into the building. Food, quite damage, damn. As the view shows him crawling on the floor. As he enters a parts and service room where all sorts of parts are. Self-repair mode engaging. Self-shutdown is required. I will not have to die again. I will always come back. I will always come back. I will always come back. As Clone DJ powers down, but will reactivate in time. As the words "The End" appear, Five Nights at DJ's 2 coming soon. As the credits roll, as the view finally reaches the end of the credits, as the view now pans, it shows the same town that Riptide lives in. As the view pans up, as it zooms into the sky, as the event zooms out to reveal Riptide, DJ, and Savage. Whoa, now that's cool. And Savage says, "I know." Wait, where am I actually? Why wasn't I in that? As Riptide says, "Ha, I was the main character." As DJ says, "You literally took my face off." As Riptide says, "Kinda deserved. You tried to eat me." As DJ says, "Touche." As Savage says, "Can't believe that book about the simulation was true." As DJ says, "Yep, and no one will ever know. Now come on, let's go get some food." As the view shows the control room of the Calamity Station. As the view pans over to a chamber where Clone DJ's frozen body is. As the view zooms into his visor, which is blank. As the view zooms into one of his eyes, which has with the small text that reads, "Host takeover complete." As the view goes dark.